Welcome to Gem Collectors with Shawn. I am Shawn, and you know, we had a great show last week. We had a great show the week before, and I am very grateful to all of you for recognizing the opportunities that I have been putting before you. Now, today, again, more so. But if I can slide in a little bit of education segment, it won't take but a moment. What I wanted to go through was to show you how I have organized, which I don't know if Shawn and organize go together hand in hand, but some of what I've done for my toolkits, so to speak. And I carry them all in one big black bag and have it all ready to go. That is when I am not carrying everything needed on me. So I can give you an idea of what I use there too. So that when I'm like Miss Cindy going to the yard sale rock shops and looking at items, you'll have everything you need to be able to make a really good judgment on what you see. So, okay, let's get to the comments. Let's get to the trivia winner and see where we go. Okay, so from last week, and it's probably good that I refreshed this. All right, so you see this show on Monday, and it can come out obviously at various times because I think last week it came out really early in the morning. But again, that gives everybody a different opportunity, different set of people that may catch the show than when they wouldn't normally be able to. Then I want to also then mention, going along with the show coming out on Mondays at any given time, that we shoot and record the show on Thursdays. Unless something, is ill, which hasn't happened in quite some time, so knock on a rock. Then we would normally shoot it on Monday the day before, which you've noticed how we have done that before. So today, right now, you're seeing this show on a Monday, but I'm actually shooting it on Thursday. So the cutoff time for comments, when I get up early Thursday morning, which I get up really early, and by the time I do other show prep, I usually open up the comments so that I can print them out by 7 in the morning. So make sure you get your comments in where you have been writing them in by 7 a.m. on Thursday morning. That would be Eastern time. And that way you no one will miss an opportunity at the trivia. So Matt, who has a great answer here to the show, and I saw what time you posted it, Matt, and it was like 1 o'clock on the Thursday afternoon, thus missing the deadline. I was already recording the show. So let's start off with Matt's, who is from the week before, his answers to the trivia, and we'll move on from there. But so everyone just remember, get your comments in by 7 a.m. on Thursday morning to be included in the Monday show. Okay, so from last week, Matt in Texas says, "Dear Professor and family, thanks for the amazing educational shows these past few weeks." Well, there you go. Glad you noticed, because that's how I just started off the show, with saying, the last few weeks have been really good. I broke the piggy bank this time. Well, that's okay. I broke it over the last 52 years of collecting so many times and continue to do so. But what I found out, that money, so to speak, converted into rocks, minerals, and gems over those years ago, there would not have been a better place for me that has a great deal of knowledge about that, that I would have done any better. So for me, collecting rocks and minerals was my savings account. So I broke that piggy bank to convert nickels into quarters. Because like I always said, anytime you can buy a quarter for a nickel, it's always a wise choice to do. And sometimes I bought quarters for a penny. Sometimes I bought dollars for a penny in those amazing estate collections that I got opportunities from my jewelry store. So I had two different jewelry stores, and especially the second one. So it was a great location in an antique district, and we were well known by then. And so I sold beautiful. That's why I know a lot actually about antiques. And then of course, I displayed those, which made the store look really neat. It really gave it the estate feel to everything. But I also had, because I just couldn't help it, rocks and mineral specimens in the showcases and on the shelves. Well, over time, a lot of other jewelry stores and pawn shops, if people came in to sell them, a collection of rocks and minerals that they inherited, that grandpa, had, and that no one else was interested in, or another family member, somehow they wound up with these particular people, had these items. And of course, even a pawn shop, paying as little as they would have wanted to, doesn't want rocks and minerals. They have no way to convert, even if, no matter how inexpensively you're buying them, no way they can convert that nickel back into a quarter, even back into a 10-cent piece. So they wouldn't even make offers. So they would send them to us, which we were inside the perimeter of Atlanta. So we were a convenient location to the north side and to the estate market. And so you don't realize how many people like rocks and minerals, of course, until I see that this show alone has now 10,300 subscribers. So like and subscribe. I'm told that's what I'm supposed to do after 7 years of never having done it once. But I got 10,000 subscribers without ever having asked to be a subscriber, not a single time. It's not my generation. I didn't know what I was supposed to do. But Barbara told me the slang, the like and subscribe part. So anyway, it's pretty neat that in only the last few months since we hit 10,000, we now at 10,300. Now I even know what that number means and notice it. So I thank everybody for that, which to do it on the back of a selling rocks and minerals and gems is a lot bigger feat than having that many subscribers if you sell shoes or something. Ladies' shoes, of course, which I've never known a woman not to love shoes. So we'll just leave it at that. Or really, I have known them to not like jewelry. But when it comes to shoes, no, way beyond the normal average for how many pairs they might carry. So anyway, I would get all these over time, when you have enough arms out and connections with these other places that people might come in, then even as small of a market as collecting rocks and minerals and then inheriting them, by the time you do that, the percentage of opportunities becomes really, really, really small. But if you have your name out there and are well known enough and pay fair enough, so that people don't go back to the pawn shop and say, that guy was just going to rip me off. He was going to, offer, $5 on everything. No. Now, granted, here's the way most of it happened. They would back up with a pickup truck. They would back up with a van. They would back up with something large. And they would open up the trunk, open up the van door, put down the tailgate, whatever it may be, and say, here it is. And of course, and jewelry, someone might come in with 10 pieces, easy and quick to evaluate, or something. Rocks and minerals, it's weight and it's quantity. And sometimes things were wrapped up, especially the good stuff was wrapped up nicely. And then, so what am I supposed to do? Unwrap every item, rewrap every item, the time? No. So what you do, you quickly glance over everything, you open a few things, about as much time as when you see those storage war show, where they, the offer for auction the storage units that people haven't paid on, and you don't get to go past the very front entrance. You only get to look and your head in for seconds, it seems, and then you are to bid against others for it, and it's just a gamble. So for me, I have wound up, one time I wound up with a fossil collection that to someone was probably very, very precious and endearing, the way it was wrapped up and all. And in the end, it was, it's pretty neat because a lot of those are actually lining our some of our garden areas, which is great for an outdoor rock. But there wasn't what I had hoped for there to be, but that was rare. I usually always came out okay, and then there would be many over the years, many different opportunities to find something really special, and then many of you have gotten in on those deals, So I'm thinking of some of the ones right now, gem silica. The Australian cooperite, some of these other opportunities that normally didn't look like much, but ended up to be quite something. So, it's all I could do was just to make kind of a general offer on everything. But it was always more than they had ever been told by anyone else. And most everybody just said, no, we don't even want to make an offer on it. So that's how I wound up with a lot of neat things over the many decades, by being the only one in town, so to speak, who would even care to make any kind of an offer on them. Of course, in the end, it definitely benefited me because I ended up with many times a crate, a box that I wouldn't even have looked in, and years later. And that's why sometimes I come in and you hear me like, oh, well, this was a good week. I found another box. And well, many times again, it'll be a box of cool stuff that I will have never opened. And, just, and it's kind of neat because that's when the surprises come in. And it's like, oh, wow, I wish I would have opened that years ago. But no, I don't. Because then I would have already sold it. It would have, already been gone, and I wouldn't have it at the current moment. So, anyway, let's get to the comments. So Matt in Texas: Dear Professor and family, thanks for the amazing educational show these past few weeks. I broke the piggy bank this time. Trivia: the 3 types of axonite discussed. So this was the week before. Chemical, technical, Latin version, or axonite version. Axonite, ferroaxonite, presence of iron, axonite Mn2+, yellow color, axonite Mg, magnesiaxonite, and that one particular axonite was all 3 types, which I was able to show you just through fluorescence and the dichroic particular nature of the colors. Name the 3 main types of radioactivity discussed. Okay, so you have uranium-239, uranium-235, thorium-232, and potassium-40. Those are some of the natural radioactive isotopes that occur in the ground as they are. But what we were talking about, the 3 types, instead of the 3 isotopes of it, the 3 types being alpha, beta, and gamma. So, but other than that, great answers as far as the getting into a more scientific answer. And I would have loved to ask that question and everyone know that type of answer. Live long and prosper, Matt in Texas. There you go. Mr. Anthony in Massachusetts. Hello, all. Multitasking, packing for a trip, and watching the show, which started early today. See, maybe it was just for you, Mr. Anthony. We are going to visit my daughter and son-in-law in Croatia and a side trip to Italy. Oh, my goodness. Croatia. What after 6 continents I've been to, and Croatia, quite an exotic, different place I've never been to, which I would love. Very cool, very cool. And the side trip to Italy, that is actually happened to be where our neighbor and her little granddaughter Rosalie were when they were collecting the rock. And glad to say they made it back safely last night. And Raven actually had to pick her up in her Jeep and didn't get home and in bed until 2 in the morning. And we get up for this show. I get up for this show at 3:45 in the morning. So, yeah, not much sleep on her side. She got to sleeps a little later, but I have a lot of other show prep to do. So, yeah, our little rock hound, they apparently had gathered. Rosalie spent a lot of the time, which is fantastic there, because it gave even not even 2 years old, but she's really, really smart. And a lot of people say that about their child, but no, this child is really, really smart for her age. And she spent the rest of the time collecting rocks. And so they have pictures of her and where they came from. So I'm anxious to see that. That's always neat. And you never know where that can lead to. So, see you in a couple weeks. Eyes down, Mr. Anthony. Hey, why not watch me over there? You can do it. You know, we are worldwide. And but have a great trip, a safe time, and remember, find a rock, because any kind of rock, take a picture of it, and so you know right where it came from. And how cool! Anything from Croatia. I mean, I don't think we've ever really had anything from Croatia specifically. Yeah, closest thing was the Medan ore field in Bulgaria, I think. But how cool. So have fun. Yeah. And I'm glad you got to see the show as well. Miss Gabby says, hello, gang. Fresh back from Tucson. And Shawn, I just have to tell you something. I watched last Monday's show on the road home Friday. Yeah, she didn't drive all the way out there. With John as one extra captive audience member when I used to pick my son up, and it was up in Helen. We called it kiss and ride. So, you know, he'd kiss his mom goodbye and ride, and then he'd come spend the weekend with me, and then I'd drop him back off at the school on Monday morning. And so it took about an hour and a half from where I lived, and I loved that time. It was like quality time, and because it was like from the time he was 4 years old. And we would mostly talk about science, and I'd quiz him and ask him questions, kind of like I do Raven, and he remembers so much of that. It was my captive time. It was before there were cell phones, and before he had one. So, you know, there was not that distraction. And besides, when they did come out, I got him one early. He was the first child in his class to have one, because I want to be able to communicate just with him without going through his mom. And there was only one company that even had cell service in the mountains like that. So even when he had a phone, it wasn't that usable for the time in getting him. But it was great, because a captive audience, and some of our best talks we had was for that time. When you asked the first trivia question, John answered out loud correctly, and the same for the second question. Tickled me. As you know, I am the gem and mineral geek in the family, not him. But he was sure paying attention that day. LOL. We are withdrawing this week, but answers are manganese and parasite. Well done on the answers, and hats off to John for knowing those answers. Well done, John. And yeah, John is just an amazing lapidary, though. He can create, you know, that beautiful flowing river of turquoise to the table. And that's why they had to go out to Tucson to do a little repair on it. So yeah, as far as I'm concerned, he's right up there as a geek with the rest of us. He's earned his badges. By the way, Metsia is a store, but Metsia is also a noun. I know, Raven and I looked it up, and we were talking about it this morning, meaning a deal just too good to pass up, whether or not you need or want it. Now, I can't imagine I have not heard of that word, especially for the meaning of it. Then she goes on to say, so glad people are taking advantage of these deals I'm offering. Many items of late seem to be missing a digit, in my opinion. You are absolutely correct, Miss Gabby. And it's like the Koroi Opal, okay? First time around, it's like hardly anybody bought anything. I was really shocked. And I showed it again at a little bit of a discount, was because it was already marked down. Some were at a much greater discount, which I never should have done in every single piece. Which should have been really the way it was the first time around. So I am glad that, like the tanzanite and so many other items. But guess what? The rubellite pendant that was passed up, gone. Sold outright, same amount, to a vendor. The spessartine pear-shaped diamond pendant sold again to another vendor. So the big over 8 carat spessartine garnet that I featured and sold it to a big dealer in that kind of material. And it was such a good opportunity, which is what it would have been if I offered it to all of you as well. And same vendor bought the other 2 items as well that I had offered all of you, and he didn't take advantage of it. So I got the same amount of money as. So I'm just saying that Miss Gabby is right. The items were, where you could have bought, quarters for nickels kind of thing. So, so if you're interested in those are gone. Miss Gabby goes on to say, Rosalie is just too cute. Looking forward to seeing what treasure she returns with for you and Raven. Yeah, we are too. It was cute. It really gave her a neat focus, they said, for the time that they were there for her, so that she just had something to do. Let's see. Pretty close. I don't think Zuzu's Petals is much bigger than 8 by 10. That's the rock shop we talked about in Helen that she had gotten a septarian nodule piece from. And I said how small it was. And Raven and I always buy something from there, retail even, the price. And even though she knows what we do, she's seen our show. And but we just contribute because we've got to support our own kind. So, and they have it packed with goodies. And she goes on to thank everyone for the nice compliments on her tourmaline specimen. Well, how could we not compliment on her? There was just nothing negative to say. It's one of my faves, and it looks perfect with the fastest stone for my rough/cut display. Sending well wishes to all, Miss Gabby. Exactly. And how many times do I talk about, a specimen? And, if you have the cut gemstone sitting amongst it or sitting next to it, she got that beautiful pear-shaped tourmaline that was a match to the color. And from, you could see even the gradient change in the color, how it matched the tourmalines from the rocket pocket perfectly that was found in the Pederneiras mine in Brazil. So yeah, it was a really great compliment to her stunning crystal. Matt in Texas says, good evening, everyone. Congratulations on the near sellout show. All offerings were amazing. I'm absolutely thrilled with my new items from last week's show, especially the amazing large orange pink tourmaline. I know that huge tourmaline. I'm glad to see one of the family members got it instead of me. I was going to sell that because I could offer it again so inexpensively. It would have been bought by a vendor at the same price. So good to see that. And then the art items are great too, which of course he's referring to the ones that require the Geiger counter to really see what they are. So Matt has been collecting those items, and I haven't had anyone to sell them to, and I have, as you can see, quite a few different ones. So I'm glad to see that he has been enjoying those, like, Schrockinggerite. Not too many people are going to have one of those. I did not, however, receive the trivia prize from last week. Can't wait to call and see if I can successfully grab something today. Probably no surprise, but keep me in mind for the faceted specialty. It seems you know my passions: fluorescence, R items, and beautifully faceted gems. We refer to the R items, because of the word is such a scary sounding word. Radioactive. Today started out drizzly, then clear, then dark and stormy with high winds, then sunny. Glad the internet is up to see the show. Trivia, manganese, and the parasite. CE for JJ Paris. Peace and long life to all. Matt. Well done on the answers there. Cindy in Pennsylvania. Hello, Rock family. That was a wonderful show. Love all the opal specimens, which were all gone when I called to order, but I did get one of the epidotes. Oh, great job on getting one of the epidotes. A bear on the porch. Oh, my. Yeah. Well, we were both sitting in the living room, which we have, like I said, a stairless porch, and it has a big glass door that is literally right next to my lazy boy chair. And so we're both sitting there, and we hear kind of a crashing noise, which often the squirrels, and this is in broad daylight, like 7:30 in the evening, so the sun's up, well. And so the squirrel can knock over the feeders and things like that, what we have back there. So we didn't think much about it. Then we heard a second crash that was a little bigger, and out of the corner of my eye, I turned, and all I saw was a big black mass. And I said, he's back. And so we got up. We had one light in. I told her, turn the light off on the inside. And when he knocked over that big item, he spooked himself. But we got to see, again, that amazing choreographed, it seems, exit off the porch, how this huge bear, and daylight, he was huge, gets up on top of it, spins himself around, and goes down a 4x4 post. It was quite amazing. And then we watched him, and I videotaped him eating my blueberries, and it was just well worth it to give us some blueberries. And he was only up on the porch, only for bird seed. It's not like we were feeding him or anything. Then I have a lot of peaches on one particular tree, and there's a lot already on the ground. I think the tree just dropped too much water or something. And so he was eating those for a bit. And then he started heading out, though, towards the cul-de-sac and the neighborhood. And the last thing I wanted was for him to get out there, spook somebody that doesn't, like wildlife. Even though if you moved to where I live, you moved into the middle of the Dawson Wildlife Management area, that there's nothing but wildlife around. And so to avoid all that, I went out the front door. So there was actually, first time was nothing between the bear and I. He was maybe, 40 or feet away, but I was really close to the front door because I know they can charge him fast. And I just shouted at him. And luckily he's still, he's afraid of humans, which is good. He spun around, turned, and headed back into the woods back behind the house, which is nothing but woods for a long ways. And because, they would just trap him and move him to somewhere else. And, we are the ones that encroached on his turf, is the way I see it. So that's why if he wants to eat my blueberries, then that's just nature. And I will watch him and enjoy him eating every single one of them as I watch that, because actually seeing a black bear in the wild, I had never seen. And I have been in the woods, of course, being a rock hound, for so many hours. It's crazy that I had never seen a bear in the wild. And so it was on my bucket list of natural items I wanted to see. And boy, I tell you what, if that wasn't given to me by the universe full force, with it being right on the back porch a couple of times now, and just getting to see the beautiful coat, really healthy looking. So yeah, that was another crazy experience, because oftentimes we sit there with the door open, especially the weather was nice this weekend. Just by chance, the door wasn't open. I can imagine him jumping over, and all of a sudden there'd be nothing between, except like 4 feet between us and him. But yeah, we would have worked it out. Okay. Let's see. I got some new treasures this past Sunday at the Rock Swap, an Indian cabin site. It is a gemmy, gorgeous specimen. I always think of you when I see cabin site, of course, because remember, it is the most effective name to me that there is for a mineral. It gives away exactly the elements that are within it. Cabin site, just as it's spelled. Calcium, vanadium, and silicon. Great name. A Russian astrophyllite. That's a great piece. It has root beer colored glimmery sprays that caught my eye. Good job catching your eye. It is actually considered a rare mineral to collect. I have sold, Miss Gabby will know, many, many beautiful cabochon astrophyllites. I've also sold rough astrophyllite, and it is a beautiful mineral, because the mineral in it, you can seldom ever buy it individually by itself. It was almost always within quartz. Usually. So, and it is a acicular, just these needle spray type of look to it, and it makes great cabochons for that reason, polished and all. It was so beautiful, I had to have it. Surprised when I looked it up. A good catch, indeed. You are not going to believe this. On a table with hundreds of specimens, I see an old yellow labeled axonite from Baja California, Mexico. According to Mindat, it is Fe from that locality. If you hadn't been discussing axonite, my eyes would have skipped right past it. I'm not lying to you. It was $1.50. That's a score. And I got a rainbow obsidian sphere. Rainbow obsidian was a bucket list item. I wish they had that swap every week. I swear I'd never leave it without something amazing. My rock friend has invited me into the house to see his inside treasures. I'm still waiting for the invite from Shawn and the Raven. LMAO. Manganese and parasite, getting them right. Yeah, you know, rainbow obsidian is one of my favorite obsidians, probably green obsidian tops that. And the history to green obsidian in the Teotihuacan Empire in Mexico. But, you know, a lot of people, there's actually all the different inclusions in obsidian could make a story in itself, because you have cristobalite, which is your snowflake obsidian, and cristobalite is actually just a polymorph of quartz, SiO2. So, and it just crystallizes different and leaves that beautiful pattern in obsidian. Then you have your gold sheen obsidian. You have your silver sheen obsidian. Rainbow obsidian, they actually talk about one group says that magnetite creates the effect that you see. The one I tend to believe a little bit more is Heidenbergite, which is an unusual mineral. You could actually probably, if you had comparatives, you could actually, or be able to tell yourself, float, if you had a piece of the rainbow obsidian, you could tell, or, you know, because of the difference in actually magnetism. Magnetite is, its composition is ferrous iron and ferric iron. So Fe2 plus and Fe3 plus. So with both of those as part of your formula, and oxygen is, that's it. It's going to be very magnetic, hence the name magnetite. Now, the Heidenbergite is calcium and iron, so there's iron in it as well, but there's not going to be nearly the percentage of iron and silicate and oxygen that you would find. So there's going to be a difference in the magnetic pull of it. Now, it's funny, Heidenbergite, if you haven't heard much of it, it's a clinopyroxene, which then belongs to the pyroxene family. And the similarity to all of the minerals is simple. The very ending chemical makeup is the same formula to each of them. And it is a Si2O6. So 2 atoms of silicon, 6 atoms of oxygen. That is the ending component that is the same in a large group of minerals, and some of the ones that you're going to be familiar with that belong to the same group are going to be things like jadeite, augite. You have diopside, belongs to that same formula ending, agarine, spodumene. So that's why and how they do group minerals together, when they have like portions of the chemical formula identical to others. So it groups them together. And so the other theory on what creates some of these things is gas bubbles, which I can understand. Of course, obsidian is created when magma cools very rapidly. So it kind of freezes and locks everything into place. It's also been said that, you know, some mica inclusions within it. But the magnetite and the Heidenbergite would be the two. And I would say the Heidenbergite more so than magnetite. But again, you know, that could be, I think, determined in some ways. So, just a little extra information. Miss Barbara in Brooklyn. Hi, Professor Shawn, Raven, GSN crew, and the whole rock family. What a lovely surprise to wake up Monday at 7:15 and find your show had been posted around 4 a.m. Breakfast with Shawn. Sweet. Yes, can't beat that. A group of us have been experimenting with trying to clean off fingerprint corrosion on the faces of some rainbow androdites. None of us are lapidaries, so we have been trying different home abrasives and learning a lot of cool stuff about relative hardnesses, like teeth are 5 and toothpaste is 7. Well, up to hardness 7, nothing happened. So we tried emery board, and that was a bridge too far. Ground away the iridescent layer and left a boring matte finish. At 9, lapidary aluminum oxide polishing powder should do the same, I guess. Do you have any suggestions of something 8-ish that would just spiff up the look of our courses? As to the trivia, specialty gets its magnetism from manganese, and parasite is the radioactive mineral from the Muzo mine. I guess it would have helped if I would have told you what the trivia questions were ahead of time, wouldn't it? I've viewed some interesting rare and collectible crystal shapes in both cerium-bearing minerals of this fluorocarbonate type. Yellow parasite and red synchrosite. Best of this last one in the Mineral Museum in Beirut. Wow. Enjoy the beautiful aurora colors while you can, and thank God for our magnetic fields, which protect us fragile bodies of water from the damaging effects of such an immense CME, which means coronal mass ejection. Some of the mass ejections, you see those flares up coming out of the sun, are as large as the Earth itself. So that gives you an idea of just how massive some of those ejections are and the difference. And we actually went out all 3 nights, even with the bear lurking around, to see if we could find any, because the aurora and people had been seeing it in the Bahamas and Florida and things like that. So we thought, well, maybe we'll see it in Georgia, and we didn't see anything. So I think specific places it occurred, and other ones it didn't. But what a great opportunity for any of you if you did get to see it. I hope you took advantage of it, because that was certainly a rare thing indeed. I told my son 3 months ago that this was going to occur, and he kind of scoffed at me. So I had, of course, send him I told you so text message. So that Pop still knows a little something here and there. So anyway, and what I'll get out again is I have a true comparative hardness sheet that shows you the actual hardnesses. Like, of course, on the Mohs scale, corundum, which hardness of 9, and then diamond, a hardness of 10, is only, of course, one number difference. In actuality, diamond is actually 4 times harder than corundum. That's why it is such a great polishing agent. And that is exactly what I recommend on the coasters. And guess what? I don't know, some of you may have gotten some, others of you not, but you see those little round kind of areas on the faces of the coasters, or like you said, other fingerprints and other kind of mineral formations can have formed on the faces of those crystals. So I try to leave some just as natural as they were when they came out of the ground, Mother Nature, right? But others that had some beautiful, beautiful iridescence. I gotta admit, I took them to my flat lap, and I had 3,000 mesh diamond on one of my laps, and it only took moments on each face. I just handheld the crystal on each face. Boom, polished that coating off and left wonderful, wonderful faces to the crystal. So I started doing it to all of them, if the faces were big enough. And beautiful, any natural. And of course, it doesn't change anything to the stone. It doesn't even take off any weight. It's just, all it is a quick finish to the surface, and made such a difference. It's a refinishing technique to it that's completely acceptable to purists, because it is such an improvement also. So here is what I recommend. Emery, how many times, Ms. Barber, have I talked to you about the corundum mines that I go to up in North Carolina? They were mined for... There was no silicon carbide invented at the time, which is like a hardness of 9.5, and on almost all abrasives for decades prior to that. The only thing that was hard that was the natural substance of aluminum oxide, which was corundum. So, which is ruby and sapphire, which is sapphire technically, no matter what color or quality. But so a lot of the mines in North Carolina were just strictly, really by way of quality. I would still love to have the crystals, but was a emery board quality. Why do they call those nail boards still hear people, especially my age, refer to them as emery boards? Emery is another word for corundum, for aluminum oxide. It's the term used and why it's still around. So, that would be one to have known, especially when you see how coarse the emery is, that would absolutely destroy the face of a garnet. Because again, it's not just the hardness of one harder. It is kind of a logarithmic scale from one number to another. There is some other jumps between hardnesses greater than 4 times harder. So, yeah, that was a big mistake to use emery on the face of it. The only thing that is going to work best is to go to use diamond. Now, if that was a nice face that you bunged up, then you have to start with a lower mesh diamond. Because of synthetic diamonds now, lab-grown diamonds, diamond compounds and grits have come down tremendously. You can get these flat diamond laps for, or uncharged ones, and then get the, it looks like it comes in like a syringe, and it's like a paste. Diamond paste is what I use, and I have every different grit there is. It will do the job because of the difference in the hardness is so much greater. And it won't mess up the surface. So you start with, now, because I have a spinning lap, 3000 left a beautiful high finish while removing everything, and it did it quickly. If you can hand hold it, you put it on a glass surface or something really flat and smooth, and you can just get a diamond charged lap, or you can just take the glass surface and put diamond compound on the glass surface. You can use different pieces of glass or sections of it for the different meshes, and you can hand hold that face right down on the glass and just go back and forth on it. You have to start off with the lower grit, see what works. The thing about diamond and using the grit like that, even if you go to a low 600, you're going to remove the material and still you're not going to scratch the face. Emery boards, the hardness, it wasn't the issue. It was the size of the grit. It was the size of the grit. So, if you use the emery board, those pieces are really big. But if you use sandpaper, which is silicon carbide, and get a really fine grit of it, you're going to be able to remove it and not have caused a really bad matte finish. If you're having trouble removing it, go to a really high grit silicon carbide or a really low mesh diamond, and then work up from there to get the polish back. For me, I can just go straight to a finished polish because I have the rotating lap at a high RPM. Really speeds the process up. Now, remember what I told you works really well. You can simply use the battery-powered nail trimmer, fire, little whatever. It looks like a little handheld battery Dremel. And I brought one in. I gave the demonstration of its different uses. You can use that with diamond compound, and you can hand hold it. And I know I can. The crystals are big enough to hand hold them. And with that little rotating hard cotton wheel, or you may see whatever choices they may have, abrasive choices, which they will have in the little rubber type of tips that will still remove the softer material on the surface, because what is on the surface, I think, is a type of feldspar. It is not the same hardness. It's a different mineral. So it's going to remove that, leaving the polish on the garnet. Or you can experiment around, but do not start off with a really rough grit like the large size of emery boards would have had. So anyway, yes, I polish those faces. It makes a great difference on those coast garnets, and I recommend everybody doing it if you have the ability to. Just hand hold them if you have laps right against the face. 3,000 mesh diamond does it with a spinning lap. You may have to start off with 600 or 1,200 if you're doing it hand rubbing back and forth on a plate of glass. Experiment. Okay, so let's finish up here so we can get to going. Let's see, did I cover that about everything? Yes. Okay, Jimbo in Delaware. I haven't heard from Jimbo in a bit. Hello, Shawn, and all fellow Rockhounds and show viewers. Another very interesting series of shows. Finally caught up on my viewing. Aha. I'm going to give my answers to the trivia. Manganese and parasite. Well done there. Hope all are doing well. Keep your eyes to the ground. Who knows what's to be found? Blessings to the family. Jimbo in Delaware. Well said, Mr. Jimbo. Elisa in Florida. Hello, Professor Shawn, the lovely Raven, GSN crew and Rock family, Miss Cindy and Miss Jan. I'll be praying for you both. Dave, I have to give you a shout out. Dave, you're getting a shout out. Your camera skills are very impressive, Miss Elisa says. Professor, you had some really great epidote specimens and the opals. Wow. My answer to this week's trivia is manganese and parasite. My favorite item of the week was the blue fluorite from New Mexico. Good choice. School lets out for summer break on the 23rd, so if I don't get my emails in on time every week, that is probably why. Take care, everyone, and have a great week. Miss Elisa. Matt in Texas. Update after speaking to customer service. I received tracking order for the free items from the trivia, so they are on the way, along with a garnet parcel. It seems the garnet parcel was held for me since it is now sold. That may mean your show from last week was a complete sellout. Congrats. Thank you, Matt May, for making it. So on that garnet parcel, Matt, I know you had wanted it with the axonite in it, but I didn't know if you wanted it without it. So I think I reduced the price and saved it in case you still wanted it. But if you don't, feel free to return that garnet parcel if you didn't want it. I think we were just afraid that you may have still wanted it without the axonite and didn't want you to miss out on that. And that's why your free item got held up. But the other thing, everybody, just remember the free items often take a different path than the items that you buy. So it will take longer to get the free items than it does to get the items that you buy. So you get the items that you buy so fast, it's kind of like spoiled, and you're kind of used to that. So just keep that in mind. We have now from Miss Penny. Hello, Shawn, the lovely Raven, amazing GSN crew and fellow Rockhounds. I hope everyone is well. Trivia, manganese, and parasite. Well done. Shawn, thank you for another great and informative show. Thank you very much for the gem parcel. I always wanted to get it and don't know why I never ordered it. You never ordered it, Miss Penny, because the magic of this show deemed that you were to get it for free. And so it was. Everyone else had how many opportunities to get that? And it was so inexpensive that it was really ridiculous for what I was offering it for, that to go any lower would have been just, I'd rather give it away, which I, of course, did. And you wanted it. So that is magic indeed. Elisa and Miss Cindy, thank you very much for your well wishes. Miss Cindy, I wish you and your husband all the best as well and a speedy recovery. All the Cory opals were gone by the time I got to them. If you have any more, I would love to have a couple. If possible, a very inexpensive stone, $8 or so for my friend, and a higher price stone for me. I would definitely be interested in the crushed multicolored tourmaline parcels. I would be extremely interested in any parcels with a lot of white stones as well. It doesn't matter what the stone is. I just got a brilliant idea as to what I can make eventually for Mahali. That's it for now. Have a wonderful week and hope to see everyone next week. Miss Penny. And then, Miss Penny, I see you mentioning about the earrings. So let me see what I can find in two matching stones on those. And to set them may be an issue. And maybe I'll show you one after a bit and talk about sometimes it's better to sand the back to flat. So anyway, we'll look at that and see if that might be an option to get two stones to fit and match better for what your needs are. And now on yes, I have, and I'm going to feature crushed gemstones today as part of the show that I've shown before. I'm going to show that gemstone picture again, so you know why and what I've been talking about about the crushed gemstones, from using them in creating your own Zen garden to creating what you're going to see in a moment here as far as a crushed gemstone picture. Now, many years ago, I sold so many of these, and they would even do portraits. You could send to Thailand a portrait of someone, and they would send back, oh, it looked like you took a picture of the person. So well done with the using crushed gemstones. So you guys don't seem like you've been hip on it, because I hadn't found an example of what I was talking about. But anything can be done with crushed gemstones for a picture. And so you might be interested, and I'm going to feature and show some, and then I'll inventory them in, and you'll know that exactly what you can do with those kind of items. Miss Penny, on the white material, anything I would have would be like more expensive. So what I recommend is buy white sand at just your home store, that you can buy, which is, purified, and it's silica, quartz silica. Other than that, if you want bigger amounts of a white material, take a piece of bull quartz and hammer and just crush it yourself, and that way you can get down to the size pieces that you might want to work with, as opposed to something that is fine as sand. So that's my suggestion, because other than that, we don't want to crush something of value, and there's no really white tourmaline I can think of, and anything else white. Nope, just quartz. That would do it. Okay, so I have the winner for the contest, and that winner this week is Jimbo in Delaware. Let's show Jimbo what he has won. Something really unique and different. Check this out. This is cool, and there were only so many of them. This is one of the Brazilian oco geodes, but it is an amethyst one. You can see the purple colors in it, and that's what makes it really, really collectible. There are so few of the amethyst ones. And now what you can see is the banded agate on the outside of it, and then you can see goethite. Look at the black crystals of goethite inside there, and then a different, let me get that out of there, a different quartz. That's what happens when you have a cat in the house. Okay, so Asif, you're gonna throw me off track. I can already tell. All right, so anyway, it even looks like there's citrine on the edge, but I think that's light coming through from the banded quartz. The amethyst ones like this, really rare. Look at the quartz crystals coming up from even the edge down there. So very, very cool and unique piece indeed. Look at that. Looks like a little hat, doesn't it? That is kind of neat. It is made for a pendant bale right there, ready to go. It does. It absolutely looks like a hat. I would wear that if I was a little troll or something. Look at the little pocket right there with crystals in it. Yeah, it is. It is a wizard hat. And, that goes perfect for a rock hound hat right there. All right, and that's where your brains fit. Because, Asif, that might be, never mind. I'm not going, no. Asif's the man. Yeah, I can't say that. He'll cut my voice sound right off. It'll be the end of Shawn. There he goes. All right, that's free. Let me take that away. We'll be right back with the start of the show. Look at this opportunity. Okay, so Australian earth mine. And I say earth mine because so many diamonds anymore. You have to ask. Of course, you know me, and the purist in me is not for what the lab created diamond market is going to do to the diamond market. But I'm just glad I don't own a big diamond mine and spend a lot of money. Now, these, cognac diamonds and these colors, they can be created and whatnot. So, the sooner you can buy earth mine diamonds, the better opportunity from price to availability because I can see down the road where, with the whole world going green, and, what people don't realize is these, what it takes, the amount of energy it takes to grow a lab-grown diamond. It is, I didn't realize how much energy it takes to mine a Bitcoin. And I didn't even know what mining a Bitcoin was. Me mining, oh yeah, let's see the mine shaft. No, that's not what mining for Bitcoin is. And actually there is, and it's causing a big stink right up near the Chunky Gal and the mine up near Murphy, North Carolina. They have a Bitcoin mining because they have inexpensive power due to the EMCs up there. And that's why they put in this Bitcoin mining, the fans, the noise and energy it takes to keep these servers cooled so they can mine Bitcoin. I'm not going to go beyond that because I actually had to read this whole article to even understand what this was about. But it's about a lot of energy. That's what it takes. And mining, then here, see, I'm going to tie it all together. Whether you're mining a Bitcoin that is nothing but a computer program you have to figure out, to mining a diamond, it takes energy, fuel, all of that. So when I can sell you these already mined, already cut, well-matched beauties for what I'm going to sell them to you for, you need to jump on the opportunity because the opportunity is going to be less and less for the natural goods. Look at that. Those, I have the C scale, but you know what? They're probably C3s. They're just a really nice, strong cognac color. 65 points total weight. There's 100 points to a carat, so that's right at 2/3 total weight. And here is your opportunity. I am going to actually sale price these. You know what? This is why, I don't know why those opals didn't sell one week and to the next week, every single one of them sold. Yes, I offered a little bit of discount. Maybe that made the difference. I don't know. It shouldn't have made any difference. Whoever would have gotten in on those first would have gotten first choice. Now I have a lot of other people wanting them and, well, to pay the few extra bucks to get them on the first round would be the wiser thing to do. All right, so these, let's do this. How about this? I already had them priced already so unbelievably inexpensive at $100 a carat, which made them only $65. Okay, so let's do this. Since I usually say if I reshow something, it's always going to be a little bit less, let's make it $58. $58, and wow, so that's like $90 a carat for, okay, then you can do how many stones? 20 stones. Okay, less than $3 a diamond for natural diamonds of a desirable color. And some of those, some of them you can actually, because I can turn these and see it, you could probably get a orange brown, a lot of those cognac diamonds, when they certify for color, actually will get a second color mention, whether it be a brownish yellow, yellowish brown, orange brown, those kind of things. They're there. So anyway, $58, that's an opportunity. Let's get going here. Okay, now, as these get less and less, 115, 92.24. Here is another opportunity. And if you have not gotten in on these, then you need to, because when they're gone, they will be gone. Only 5 parcels left. Let me show you. This is your chance to get in on these incredible mixed origin ruby parcels. And I say mixed origin because you can see some of the rich reds are going to be some of the Burma colors. You have the purplish color tones, which are going to be probably the Thai stones. You have some Mozambique colored stones in there, some Madagascar colors, like look at that red. That is not coming from the same mine that some of the purple ones do. These are also great lesson stones. Look at this. Okay, so I have ruby, but look at that. A purple sapphire is worth a lot more. It's the second rarest color. Look at that. That is a purple sapphire. You know, I have it in as ruby, but that's up to whoever wants to go through and select the colors. They are just pick of the mix, whatever you get. There's another beautiful stone in there. So you can see, though, that's just one. You can see almost all of them. Yeah, look at that. So all of them will have purple sapphire in them, most likely, and they also have mixed shapes. And so I'll just go through each one here so you can just see. Just look at that marquee, purple sapphire. Look at that one. And the price on these here, this is not the same way. This is to fill for extra orders if the other ones sell out. So this bag, we just weigh them, and that is how random it gets. All right. Because they just, so actually, now that I see that, so there's a quantity of 4 left, and this is the ridiculous thing. I am offering these for only $44 a parcel. $44 a parcel. That's $4.40. Let me see. So we have, hold on, 10 carats. Yeah, $4.40 a carat. Oh, and here's the unusual thing. This just happened by chance. For whatever unusual reason, every time I picked out 25 stones, they weighed 10 carats. I did it so many times that I ended up I did weigh to verify afterwards, that I just started counting out 25 stones, put them in the bag, 25 stones, and all of them on the average. That is so cool that the average worked out to be, exactly 25 stones was 10 carats. So that's an average of 40 points a stone. So that is they're not small stones. It's not like that. Those are not considered milli by any means. Grab those. Okay. Now let me keep going here because we have a lot to do. Let me show you this so you understand when I show you. Okay. So this is, of course, is not for sale. This had a broken front glass on it. So it works perfect to show you for an example. All right, here is what I'm talking about when I talk about the crushed gemstones. Now, this is broken glass. Other than that, pardon?
In a crushed frame.
That is a good one. Awesome. I did not even think about that.
Don't cut yourself on the air.
No, you can. If I took my hand right across like that, man, I'd be shaving my skin off. Yeah, Awesome said, what do you mean? It's perfect. Crushed gemstones in a crushed frame. Very clever humor on there. But, he's got a point. That actually is kind of, if you look at it as intentional, it takes on more meaning,
Part of it.
Yeah, like Van Gogh, only part of him painted. All right, so as you look at this, how they do it is they take a black pen, which anyone can do. Yeah, you're right about that, Austin. Oh, remember how many times I cut myself? I would put my hand out and the girls would just bandage it when in the live show. So anyway, what they do is they take so any of you can do this. You can take just a black pencil and you do the outline. Then you go in with the crushed material and you fill it in. You can see even the gradation of color here from the more red to the light pink. So you have everything from tourmaline, you have citrine, you have amethyst, you have, the garnets used a lot here. You're going to see garnets. They have green, probably aventurine, and I'm going to show you a parcel of tumbled emeralds that you can use as is or just crush them up. So that's what these are. And so it is, you can experiment as putting down a layer of glue or using spray glue that they have after putting them down. So you can also go online and research it. And I watched a video of how this was done, and it was really, really enlightening. You can see some peridot in here and then all the different colors of citrine. And I'm going to show you what they used for the blue, which you think, wow, how am I going to get that blue? So anyway, you can make anything. I have actual tigers that we have. I haven't found them since we moved, but we have ones that haven't been broken. So anyway, I talked about this for so long. I want to show you. Okay, out here, the white sand. So if this is what you're talking about, Miss Penny, you can just use regular sand, which is a natural substance, quartz. And you can also, remember, use a type of like a dye, and you can, it won't per se dye the quartz itself, but the blue or whatever color you use will still pervade and be all around whatever you use. So in other words, if you dropped a drop of blue on this white sand, it would absorb back into it. And you could color it if you didn't find any other natural substance that color, RIT dye or the liquid coloring dye. It's amazing stuff. All right, so that's what I'm talking about when I talk about the gemstone paintings. Now, let's show you, and some of these I only have one parcel of, but they certainly will be effective. Now, for one thing, here is the crushed tourmaline. I offered these quite a while ago. I kept a bag for myself. I may have some more, but this is where you can actually separate the colors of tourmaline and then use them as you need them for the different colors. And you're using a wonderful natural gemstone. You can see some actual crystals that could be used as well. So I'll inventory in what I have and offer them next week as I can. Okay, so let's take a look at item 1120023. Here is a chance at, okay. Let's see, what did it? All right. Now, this is a parcel of just almandine garnet. And again, use them the size they are, or you can then take this material and literally take a hammer and crush it. And, you know, into whatever fineness or mesh that you want. And so let me just show you some of the actual side color of the almandines. You can actually put them on top of a flashlight or light and separate them by color. And here, let me do this. This will be easier just to show you some of the, there we go. Now you get to see the actual oranges and the color in this material. And then you can separate it if you want to really get particular about the color. And there's some nice facet grade material in there, thank you, sir, that would work for you if you want to tumble it. You can tumble it as well, but that's, you know, so something like that, it's not going to be expensive. And as much as I don't want to sell something for less than $10 ever, it's got to be. So this one is going to be the entire parcel, only $8. And it is nice almandine in particular. Now, let me show you next item 1110723. 1110723. It seems that, and Miss Penny, I'll get you that quote that you're looking for, I think, on the diamonds. But a lot of you realize just how inexpensive the diamonds I've been offering are. And here's another opportunity. And I have it, of course, in my super white paper. White isn't always white. It a lot of times may look white, and you don't realize. Okay, so wait, let me see if there is what. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so even you see this white against what's supposed to be a diamond paper. Look at how much more tint there is to the diamond paper than what the true white is in this piece of paper that I have. So anyway, the way you grade color by looking at it through the side because the brilliance will tend to wash out any a lot of any color differences. So if you look at it from above, you'll be able to see just how brilliant that is and how white it looks. And you can't always see color when you have something that's that sparkly. So this is a GH color. It looks like it has a faceted girdle, which is the circumference, the part that goes around it. And it's, look at that, just a beautiful gem, 3.7 millimeters. So it's 1/5 of a carat. It has the right diameter for the weight. So it is a well-cut stone, and it is a stone that has an inclusion, but nothing really visible to the naked eye, which really helps you save a lot of money. So 1/5 of a carat normally would cost a lot in any type of market. I have this gem marked so far down that you can't see the stone. No, that I can't believe it's still available. But how about this? This will be the lowest and final price, which is crazy for me to sell it this inexpensive, but I will. Okay, so let's go ahead and make that only $85. Only $85 for a 1/5 of a carat, really nice gem that would look great as an accent stone. Or, ladies, for single earrings, 85, yeah. And, you know, as a single earring, as a pendant stone. So let me just wrap that back up. We'll put that, tuck that away. Let you look at those for the moment while I go and get the next item, which I'll get here and get it organized. So give me a moment and I'll be right back. Oh, look at this. This, now, from where I live, this is like not far away. So this is like home turf. In this part of North Carolina, and this is the Jones Mine, and the Jones Mine in Henderson, near Henderson City, it is what they call in the zircon belt, actually, of North Carolina. So there's a series of counties that happen to have, a series of zircons in a lot of times with the feldspars. So in this case, it's with microcline and with quartz. So let's take a little look at this and just see. Now this is from the 1960s, and I was able to get a flat of these, and I could not believe that I was able to get something as unique and rare as it was. When I got it home and realized what I had gotten for the price I got it for, I felt really fortunate, because this had to come from someone's personal collection that had to be associated with mine to get the number of pieces that they had. And they were some of the best of the material that came from that mine. So as I look, there's very few opportunities in Mindat or anywhere else that actually show pieces or specimens that have been any nicer than what I have shown you. A lot of times they're just single zircon crystals is kind of what they're showing off. But as far as the crystal clusters go, like these and the others I've been showing you, no. So these are from fantastic finds. Look at how well shaped the feldspars are. And then look at this. I mean, you have a really nice smoky quartz crystal right here. Look at that quartz crystal. And then when you look close, without having to look very far, look at these black crystals. And like this one, when you look at the shape of them, it ought to give it away. Now, let me give you a little closer in look of it. And they are going to, hold on one second here, that you're going to realize that when you see the shape, look at that. So what do you have? You have what is referred to as bipyramidal. In other words, two pyramids base to base. You can see that. And hold on, let me see where that big one was, which, look at all this. Okay, so wow, look at that. See, I haven't even inspected these like I should be, because there could be quite the find in some of these. And wow. Okay, so like, look at that crystal right there. I mean, I didn't even notice that before, but there's another really, really nicely defined. And I notice a lot of the quartz crystals seem flattened. So then, okay, so look at this. So look at that. There we go, the one right in the middle. It is a perfect bipyramidal. So what is it? That's the zircon. That is the zircon we're talking about. You know, if it was red, you'd know what it was right away and recognize it. But these just happen to be black zircons. It is a fantastic specimen. There's sphenes that are found sometimes amongst these as well. It just takes a little closer look sometimes, and boom, all of a sudden, what you didn't know was there, you recognize it. And then once you know what you're looking for, other items will pop up. This is nothing but a ball of crystalline microcline and other minerals as well. So quite the find. Look at all these, and when you look close at them, it is so much fun when you realize just all those black zircons tucked away in all these little corners. And then look at that quartz crystal right there. So what a neat find. All right, that one, let's sale price it. How can I sale price it less than it already is? But I'm going to. Let's make this one only $36. $36 on that. And again, they call that mine extinct when, you know, it's closed. Look at that angle. There's a good angle. You can see that crystal really well. So while I'm showcasing that one, let me show you this another one. This one is item 114-2223. And here you have just another one. And let's take a look at this. Okay, wow. Now, hold on. Let's get that number. Let's see, 114-2223. And check this specimen out. Talk about a serious size zircon. And look at that. Look at that. So you saw on the other one the color of the zircons. Look at this. Now this color, this is what you'll see more represented by the crystals that you see that are single. In other words, they're out of the matrix, which a lot of times they'll actually peel back the matrix to feature the crystal. And as someone that knows what to look for in regards to that, they've done a really good job, because you can see that I think is what has occurred here. They have peeled back some of the feldspar to reveal, look at that, a classic, look at that, terminated on both ends. Now, I would actually be very tempted, if I had like other specimens, to further extricate that crystal out of there, because you know it's going, you can see the perfect four-sided termination there. You know it's going to be a beauty by itself. You can already see that. Look at this. Here is another crystal tucked away in there. Look at this one. Here's another one tucked away. And, you know, one thing, what I always say, you never know what's inside. What's inside. If this is what's showing and exposed, you can see kind of the relative number per square inch, let's say. There is every possibility that there is several that are, of course, on the inside that you can't see. Look at that. You can see that is terminated at that end and at that end. You can see that is going to be a perfect doubly terminated crystal in there. I can see some other places where a crystal was that had come out, and you can see other ones here that can be removed if you want, or with a Dremel tool, peel back some of the feldspar, because that's what all this is. This is one big specimen of feldspar. But the really showcase piece, if just leave it alone, right there, that would look fantastic for a unique and rare. That's why you have it. This was one of my personal rare collector specimens, because I know just how rare it is coming from this particular mine. And okay, so I'll do as I said. I'm going to give you a discount on this one as well. Let's make it only $44. $44, which if you went to a show and your goal was to find, I want to find a zircon and feldspar specimen from the Jones mine, and you go to a show in Asheville or in Spruce Pine, North Carolina, where, you know, they're the closest and nice shows that would maybe have us. Well, I've been to both of those shows, and no, I should have shown up with my flat of Jones mine zircons, and wow, I could have gotten quite a bit more, because it's a local mineral. People there know and love and try to collect those local minerals, especially from places that are long since extinct. So better to get one of those two while the getting is possible at all. As Miss Gabby said, she saw a lot of different specimens that a digit, in other words, a 0, could be added. In those other things, well, it pretty much works across the board. Maybe not adding a 0 to these, but probably a multiple of 3 or 4 times on a specimen like that, if you could find it. And that is what would help. That's what helped drive the price up. No one's going to have it. 114, 89, let's see, yeah, 89.23. 114, 89.23. And this is one of the parcels I was talking about that would make fantastic use for crushed gemstones. Or it's really too nice to do that. But other than that, I mean, how could anyone find something, you know, so cool as emeralds and then crush them? Or if you do a design that allows you to have some larger stones in the design, these could work for that. You can see that you have all different colors, and you could separate them by color as well. I tumbled these from rough that I had, so they would work really well. 12 carats of it, and I am going to put a serious discount on these. We're going to, oh yeah, here on this parcel, there is 12 carats of emerald, and then I threw in an extra and an adventuring for a lesson stone. So let me see if I can find it so you know which one it is. Remember, aventurine is quartz with little, well, they always used to say mica, but it's really fuchsite, which is a, so what you look is for those little reflections, and then you have aventurine, which, there it is. You see those little reflections? But look at how similar it is to the emeralds. And so that is a little extra as a lesson stone. Yeah, look at that. That's an emerald. That's an aventurine. So that will just really goes to show you why it needs to be a lesson stone, so you know what to look for and how to separate them. So, okay, let's go with the 12 carats of these and make all of these only $12. $1 a carat. That's certainly a bargain. Now, I have a really nice specimen to show you. Item 111-9323. 111-9323. And let me see. oh. Do you have it, Asif?
Yeah. Spanish dog blue.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. The Scalina hedral Spanish dog tooth. You know what? Let me just hold off on that one because I need to add some additional information on that. But I've got a neat specimen for everybody coming up next week on that. So hang tight there. Now, I showed you some quartz, 117, 4324. Now, this again, after showing you the spessartine citrine, yep, let's look at that, 117, 4324, citrine. After showing you last week the difference in magnetism between spessartine and citrine. Citrine is not magnetic. Spessartine, garnet is. Here is a fantastic citrine. Look at this stone. And I just left the emeralds there for a minute just to show you how beautiful nature is and everything it offers, because this is, again, another item from Brazil, which is, the place overall as a country for gemstones. I think it's, I don't know. Brazil was one of the very first, along with India, one of the very first places diamonds were mined at long before the African diamond mines. The Golconda mines of India, and then, of course, the Brazil alluvial mining, and produced some huge diamonds. But anyway, this is a fantastic citrine. It is, let me get my, it is nicely cut, and I am going to make it a really good deal. Let me put it right in there so you can see the color. And the other important thing you can see, okay, when you look straight down on it, you see how the colors are even, and that's okay. That's what you want to see. But when you lay it like that and then start turning it at an angle, this is what you really want to see. You want to see zoning. You want to see areas that are not all the same color. And wow, look at that. That tells you you're not getting a lab-grown citrine, which there are lots and lots of out there, just like there is in the amethyst. So that is important. This makes a good lesson stone for natural citrine. And it is going to also be such an inexpensive price now. I don't know how you would turn it down. When I went to shows, I was shocked by actually how much they're asking for citrine. It's quite a bit. And for me, this, I was already offering it at only less than $3 a carat. So, you didn't like that price? I guess let's do this. And I don't know what it is, because it couldn't have been the price of the opals last week. It had to have been just nobody wanted opals the week I showed them, because the following week, everybody bought opals. Okay, here, $28. $28 on that. And that's a big stone. Let me show it to you in my hand. You can see what a beauty. What a beautiful stone. And a fantastic cut as well on that. I like that. I love that cushion cut to it. All right. Now, let me take one moment, put some of these items up, and I'll be right back. Okay. Miss Penny, I'm going to open this up to anybody that's interested in it, because I don't know if it's going to work for you. On either end, on your inexpensive end. I don't know if I'm going to have another $8 Koroi opal, but I do have this one that is a amazing gem. Look at all the colors. Again, going through the veins like that is what it looks like. It looks like just blood flowing through, except multicolors. So, and then nice polished back. Ironstone, all a natural solid piece, and that unusual pattern is what really defines it as a Koroi opal. This is a lighter color than other ones that you see, but you can see color in almost all of the silica veins. So a really interesting, nice piece. And for all those that sold, okay, I am going to follow and offer a discount when I showed it on these amazing opals I've offered. This one I offered at only $4 a carat, and it was only $68, and everyone passed it up. So okay, let's do this. Let's go ahead, big discount, make it $58. $58 for anyone that wants it. Grab it while you can. Item 117, 6024. Now, this opal is really beautiful and a really nice, unusual stone. So here it is in the tube, just so you get an idea of the size. This actually isn't a normal size gem tube, by the way, which might make a difference for comparison. It wouldn't fit. Look at how big this is. Look at this stone. So I love the fact that this is completely different than any other of the Kreutz opals. Now, it does have some of the Kreutz patterns that you see, but look at the amount of silica in this. This is a really beautiful piece. It's almost like one of the Yawa nuts, because you have the center that is almost all silica, and it certainly has all the colors. And look at the, it was cut really neat because the cut follows the shape of the silica center. It's like an eye of striking colors in that opal, actually. And so, what a beautiful gem. A really beautiful, beautiful stone. And opportunity is going to knock on this one because, again, if you gambled and wait, you might miss out, or you might get it for a little less money than when I showed it the first time. Even though I shouldn't discount it at all, I'm going to. So, okay, let's go ahead and, oh my, let's see. This beauty, I am going to discount it considerably. How's that? And it was $118. Let's go ahead and do this. Let's make it only $98. $98 on that. And wow, that stone, having been to Australia and been into the opal shops, it would be hundreds and hundreds of dollars, if not over $1,000 at the opal shops, especially the tourist shops. So that is a wonderful stone that would classify as a high quality Kreutz opal. And you can't go by the way I have priced things to judge the value. And obviously, so many items, like Miss Gabby said, should have a 0 on them. And so my pricing of these doesn't reflect the actual market. It reflects that I have more than I can sell, and the fact that it's just a special show. And if you happen to be one of the special people that know about this show, you can get in on severely discounted items. And that would, just tell your friends about it, and they can get in on it too. But, remember, most everything is only one of a kind. And so if you miss the item, there may not be another one that can replace it. So now let me show you. This is a parcel of 2. And so, Penny, this might work. It's not an $8 one, but let's look at it. 117, 25, 24. And here is a parcel of 2. There's actually 2 I'm offering in here. And wow, look at this. Look at these beauties. So you can see relative to each other. I'll take them out for you. And look at this one. I love that. Look at all the colors. This is very unique. Look at let me get another pointer here. you can see a little, look at this little tiny rim of color that actually goes around that. That's stuff like that's really neat. And then look at that. You have a central color there, then this other band of color. And then look at this from the other side, just a nice, thick, strong layer of ironstone. So that one, it would not be an $8 opal like that one from last week, but since this is a parcel of 2, you could divide up the value how you want, because I am offering, look at this gem. Both of these, hold on. Let me look at that. Look at that. Beautiful classic Koroit there. And wow, both sides. So, you know, really the way I priced this, you could, I don't know how, I was going to say you could maybe make that one an $8 one, but that would be awfully inexpensive dividing it up. Okay, so 2 stones sold as a sale price, making them both a total of only $58. So really, you could say this one is $50 and you could make that one $8, or however way you want to divide them up. But that might be a opportunity there, Miss Penny. So hopefully you can maybe scoop those up before anyone else does, and take advantage of that, because I don't know if I'm going to have any other one that could be that inexpensive. Okay, now I have a this crystal 116-3624. This one is an amazing opportunity, and look at that, quite a collector's crystal, especially because it is colorless, a colorless Goshenite beryl. And so we know that beryl is allochromatic, meaning it gets its colors from impurities. Hence, you have emerald from chromium and vanadium. You have your other impurities that give you morganite, that give you heliodor, and onwards. Well, when there are no other impurities involved, you have in your pure beryl, it's colorless. And you can see that is about as colorless as they come. And this is actually, you know, quite a large crystal for that to be colorless. Quite unique and rare. And if you have a beryl collection, you have to have a Goshenite. Let's put it in this almost white tray just to show you. Look at that. Look at that. So just to show you how colorless that actually is. So yeah, there are no tints of green, no tints of blue, no tints of yellow. That's about as Goshenite as they come. So Goshenite is actually not inexpensive, not in the real deal material like this. Okay, I'll put it on sale one more opportunity. And if someone wants to really make off with that one, they will give only the $28 that I'm asking for that beauty. Okay, let me now. Those there. Let me show you this. Since I talked about opportunity, do I have this written up as an item number? No, I don't. But what I'm going to show you, what I'll do next week is I have a bag. You can see, so you can see this has kind of been around a little bit. But anyway, this is full. I actually tumbled all these. So you can see just a handful. There's mixed rubies, garnets, everything in this. And I will parcel up some of this material here. Look at the rubies in it. And I'm not going to go picking through it. It's going to be mixed garnets, facet grade quality, mixed ruby, And you can just look down through the bag of this. And this is what's so much fun. Look at that. Look at that. So, yep. All right. I'm going to do that for you for next week. And in the meantime, let me show you, for those of you that have been getting in on the diamonds, look at this. I have a diamond parcel here. Is item 113-2123. And wow, these are really pretty. Look at that. 14 stone parcel. Really beautiful. They're well matched, 2.5 millimeters. So there's a carat 3 total weight. Look, here you go. Look at that. So they're nice stones, eye clean, and 2.5 millimeter. Nice white goods. I'd take the top off, but I don't want to spill them everywhere and have to put them all back. Hold on. Let me just see if I can do this without flipping them everywhere, which is one of the things you don't ever want to do at a gem show, is flip them everywhere. That is embarrassing when everyone's on the floor looking for, in the aisle, looking for the gems that you spilled. So you can see, look at that. Look at how white those are. This is a really good opportunity to get matched goods if you're doing, look at that. Wow. If you're doing channel setting, you can, these are big enough. So 14 stones, so they're going to average around 7 points each. And they are bright, lively gems and very affordable. How's this? For over 1 carat of goods for only $118. Wow. For that size, that is again, getting a quarter for a nickel, just about literally by way of price per carat. All right, now, here is a half carat parcel, and this is, again, an opportunity for those that needs stones for replacement work, etc. It is item 113-2023. So there's 22 pieces in here. And I'm just going to leave them in the bag so you can see them. I'll put them against the white so you can roughly see the color. So, yeah, 22 pieces. You can see they're all full cut goods. They measure from 1.3 millimeters to 1.8 millimeters. I don't think they're, let me see. Yeah, so here is a parcel that is very usable. And if you could remove the suspension box, please, Asif. So anyway, how about this? How about this? A half carat of diamonds, and now discounted. Oh, and these are really nice. These are VS to SI clarity, so and HI color. So you really have a very fine full. They're all full cuts parcel, and now for only, believe it or not, huge discount, $58. That is a strikingly inexpensive opportunity on that. Now, opportunity is item number 111-9723. And here is a beautiful fossil. And this is very unique. It is iridescent South Dakota baculite and aragonite. So look at the colors in this. Look at the colors. You can see, okay, a baculite is like an orthoceras. And you can see by the shape of it, it was a cephalopod, elongated, and out of one end, it would be kind of like a squid and have tentacles. So you can see these are called suture lines, and they occur between the segmented areas of the cephalopod. And so you have aragonite, which is what the shell under pressure and time will convert to, which creates that same light effect, that same gemstone effect that you see on ammonites. You see it on this one, which is real unique and rare to have a specimen like this. So if you collect fossil specimens, this one, 100 million years ago, it has dendritic suture lines. It has from the Pierre Shale deposit in South Dakota. And I am offering that one on sale for only $48. $48. So a significant sale opportunity from the price that it was. So grab that, because I don't have another one. That is the only one. Now, this next item, 116-7424, 116-7424. This, wow, was so expensive and rare when they were first out. And I was in the market when this material first hit the market at some of the shows. And boy, yellow lepidolite, that was the deal. But look at that. Look at how yellow. You can see how it's a phyllosilicate, meaning a layered silicate. And for it to be yellow, lepidolite, you know, is normally a violet or purplish color. It's a lithium mica. And look at the quartz crystals over here. So this is a really attractive piece and a nice size small cabinet specimen. And it's they're quite rare. The yellow material is quite rare, and you can see it's the clarity to it is quite striking. And yeah, look at the colors in that. It's really beautiful for it to be yellow. So, all right, this guy, I'm going to sale price him as well, which, man, I wish I could have paid as little as what I'm offering for when this material was out. I'm making that guy only $44. Only $44. That is a big sale price on that one. Now, let me see what we have here. This, okay. So, here is, let me see if I think yeah, all right. So I showed you the almondine. Okay, now, item 116-7924. We had an opal sale last week. We're doing a little bit of a diamond sale this week. Look at this. Here are 12 stones, and we talked about these sizes in case you needed them, which you probably do. There are so many micro pave set gems out there that you easily can lose one, and then what do? You can't find them. These are 0.8 to 0.9 millimeters. There is 11 stones, I think maybe even 12, because I think my note on here is I found them because I think I lost them. But anyway, if there is a benefit to you, 1, 2, 9, 10, yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. There might even be 13. Doesn't matter. However many in there, you get them all. They are super clean. They're as many facets on these as a large diamond, which is kind of crazy. But anyway, every goldsmith should have this size diamond and quality, because it's only a matter of time before you end up having to replace one. These are the size that they put in the top of prongs. When you see the prong set over a stone and a diamond set in it, that's the size used. That size is common and very hard to end up having one on the bench that's actually that small. So anyway, I am going to offer this entire diamond parcel for a price that, well, you have to have them, just because you have to have them in the market anymore. So we're going to make these only, how's this? $12 a stone. So $12. $12 a stone. $1 a stone, $12 for all of them. And that's a really good value. Let's look at item number 117-6124. Now, if you're looking for an opportunity at a deal on some opal, here's the deal. Look at these. I'll take them out. And here is 2 stones, and they have all kinds of color through them. Look at that. They would make great earrings. Great. You remember, one of the greatest, neatest things I think you can give as a baby shower present is, when you know what month they're going to be born in, is their birthstone. So of course opal is October. It's just a thought for other months ahead. Think about that, because at the prices you can get different birthstones, the mother's going to think you gave her something much more valuable. It's going to be something much more significantly memorable, their birthstone, than giving them something that they're going to outgrow, or diapers or whatever. Anyway, this pair of opals is a deal, because I am going to do both of the stones for only, let's do this, $10. $10 for the pair. $5 each. That is an opportunity. Now, as the clock is working against me, let me see. I have 112-9723. This is the very last parcel of those natural earth mined diamond crystals that are natural color. Look at these. These have everything from macles in them to bipyramidal gems. They are all natural diamonds. There's a 1/4 carat total weight, 60 to 65 stones. Remember, I had these in the blue diamonds, and very few of you wanted them. The white diamonds sold out like crazy. This is my last parcel of natural white diamond crystals. They are excellent for educational purposes because of the different crystal shapes. Of course, you can never afford the larger sizes, but it doesn't matter. As long as you can magnify them, you can learn from them. And you get to see the triangular flat macles. That's what they make a lot of trillions out of. You get to see the bipyramidal. That's one right in the middle, right there where the light reflecting off of. That's how they cut those in half, cleave them in half. There's one. Look at that one right there. And make princess cuts out of those because of the square shape. Look at that one at the very top. That looks like a perfect, look at that. Look at how clean that is. A perfect isometric bipyramidal crystal. Wow. Wow, that is worth it just for that. Even though it is small, it is clean. Imagine finding a large one like that. That's the kind of stuff they dream and live for at the diamond mines. There's another one right underneath the dot of a perfect, look at that one. Anyway, this is a lot of fun and education. And I tell you what, for the price I'm offering it for, I shouldn't even have the one left. So, let's do this, 25 points, and wow, make it $25, only $100 a carat. And if you figure the number of stones and go by the price, then you're, at what, 40 cents a stone or something like that. Very inexpensive. And again, the education that comes with being able to have something, even though they're small, is immense because you have your mackerels, you have your bipyramidals, really clean ones. You have a lot of fun. Let me show you something that 1168724. For all of you out there that bought into any of those epidotes, here is your only and last chance I have. Epidote is a belongs to the Clinozoisite group. It was named in 1806 by Awi. We know who Awi is, of Awi fame. And look at this parcel. Now, let me take these out. Parcel. Well, look at this pair of epidote crystals. You often see these in much finer, thinner, as inclusions in, look at the green, in quartz. And then, of course, those epidote specimens that I just offered last week. Beautiful material. And these you can have a lot of fun with if you want to make them into dangle earrings. Here we go. Let me show you. Look at that color. Look at that color in them. And look at the matched sizes even. Wow. That is beautiful. Beautiful. And, okay, so it's from the Greek word epidosis, for increase, in allusion to the one side of it is longer at the base of the prism. So you never know how things get their name. It has quite a complicated formula, though. It's from the Shigar Valley. These are from Pakistan. And how about this? I'm going to offer the pair for only $44. That is on sale. And well worth it. They're very plechoic, which, did you notice that when plechoic, meaning, remember, changes color with the direction you turn the crystal? So you see that color? Did you happen to notice when I turned them that way? I wasn't going to point it out, but that is not anything to do with the light. It has to do with the stone. They are yellow. Then they are olive green. And then if we looked at them lengthwise, they would be another color as well. So that is really neat to me. I like that kind of optical phenomenon. So very cool. Very cool. Only $44 on those. All right, that's going to be the last item of the show. Stick around. Trivia coming up. Okay, I just wanted to show you, before we close out the show, because I meant to flash them in, that I'm going to go ahead and parcel up. And remember the wonderful blues that were in that picture for the different color blues. And I mentioned, instead of sapphire, I had something special to show you. Look at this. Look at these apatites. Now, you know what all these are from? This is from a huge batch of apatite rough that I had a number of years ago, but since, here at Gem Shopping, that I offered then afterwards, and a lot of you got in on them, and they were stunning faceted stones that came from it. And I have, if you can see through the dust here, look at this large bag. Every one of these are, and you can see little saw marks on some of them. It's where they cut the rough and got to the cleanest sections of the apatite. It's amazing. And the cutters give back every little shred. And that's what I love about who I use for production cutting, is they give you back every little piece left over. So I'm just showing you that, yes, there are gemstones to achieve every color that you saw in that picture. There is gemstones that you can use to get that color. So, okay, anyway, I'll have those fixed up for you, for anyone that wants to get in on that. All right, so, and if you missed it, I'll just flash in real quick. There is the gemstone painting of some flowers, but I've been talking to you for years about what to do with, what Raven calls her crumbs. As you can see, that would be kind of an effective name for all those little leftover appetite pieces. And let me tell you, I also saw those and he goes, "Oh, so you want to show the appetites?" And I said, "Wow, he even knows what those were." And, this is a guy, of course, for 25 years or so, been here. And, not everybody absorbs the information they see, but he sees so much. And he has that knowledge just gained from listening and caring to learn. And that's all it takes. So I was impressed because normally you got so much else going on, you don't absorb what the host is saying. In this show, I think more so than others, it's a little more interesting, might grab someone's attention a little bit more than hearing about another diamond ring. So anyway, hats off to Asif on that. You can see that picture, having all those colors, you can have them too. So gemstone paintings, and you can start off in any manner or form you want, especially if you can draw. I can't draw, but I could easily see being able to create a picture. It may not be Bob Ross, I think his name was. It may not be quite a Bob Ross type of picture, but I think anyone can certainly paint with crushed gemstones. So it'd certainly be easy enough. I have a lot of the colors that you would need, certainly inexpensively enough. If they are not crushed, crush them yourself, especially like the garnet. So you saw them, they'll be reasonable. And it doesn't take that much. Like, let's say the blue in that, it wouldn't take a fourth of what you see right there to be able to do all the blue. So, okay. I have a couple of trivia questions for you. Let's see how you do. Remember, you can watch the show as many times as you want, but when it comes to the trivia, then you can't go back and look at the answer. You have to use your memory. And that's the whole idea of having fun with this and just trying to give you a reason to remember. And you never know. You might win something cool. I know there is some out there that have won as many probably as 15, 20 different times. And so we have a lot of people that watch the show, a lot of people that purchase from the show, not so many that comment. We actually encourage comments. So if you want to jump in on that, you don't even have to answer the trivia. Just leave a comment and I'd love to hear. Okay, here we go. First question. What mineral is the amylite and shell of other cephalopod fossils mainly composed of? Okay, so what mineral is the amylite and shell of other cephalopod fossils mainly composed of? Okay. So there's a particular mineral, and it is that diffraction from the layers of that mineral that creates the beautiful different colors that you see from the cephalopod family. And so, of course, the Alberta, Canada, incredible ammonites, where the shell turns into, so to speak, a mineral, the answer, and becomes this beautiful amylite that was recognized as one of the other organic gemstones of the world. It may be a question at some point, like name 3 organic gemstones. So I'm thinking about it. Okay, so question 1. Question 2. And we touched on this on one of the items I featured today, so I thought it would be a good time to ask a question regarding it. Name 3 gems or minerals. I mean, I could say, some minerals in a good enough quality are gems, so I don't want to say gems or minerals separately. So gems. Name 3 gems or minerals that are plechoic. let's say this, or dichroic. So name 3 gems or minerals that are plate-chroic or dichroic. Either one. And I would normally give you the definition again, but I think by now you should know what plate-chroic or dichroic means. And if not, then you can look that up. But not look up the answer as far as, Googling it or something like that, the question. So, I got to watch it because with AI coming up in this world, it's going to make it far too easy to get answers instead of using the old noggin and using the old memory bank. Yeah, I have trouble with that myself. Okay, so I hope you all have fun. I had a batch of inventory to bring in to show you, and I think I forgot it. So speaking about brain, memory bank, and etc. Yeah, I might be a candidate for some those brain minerals, whatever they may be. Or maybe I was just hit on the head with a rock one too many times. Okay, so look forward to next week. Get in on those items today, especially like in on the opals. So there's opals left. Those are the ones. I don't think I have any more. So I sell price those. Grab them while you can. The diamonds as well. All right. Again, thanks for all your support. 7 years running strong. And be here a long time to come because I love what I do, and this is my hobby since the age of 11. Doesn't get any better than that. God bless you all. Thank you so much for your continued support and interaction. And yeah, you guys are my family. Cheers. See you next Monday.